I predicted it, many people thought I'm wrong, but now it's time that it's uncovering. SpaceX and Blue Origin is not that hyper focused on that, right? Their costs are very, very high, much higher than Virgin Galactic. If you want to go to space for under $1 million, there's just one company worldwide. I truly believe that this company can go to $500 per share. So welcome to a brand new video, and today is a very excited video in the pipeline because we are talking about one of the greatest investors of all time. Peter Thiel made a lot of money by creating PayPal together with Elon Musk, and then also investing a huge amount of money into Facebook, and also, like, for example, is a co-founder of Palantir. And he has a great book that I feel like every investor should read, okay? Doesn't matter if small or big, read 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel and you will have an mind-opening what actually investing means. He's a very smart person, German by the way, same like c'est moi. So I consumed a lot of basically all important books on investing, okay, business building and so on. So I have a certain, let's say, minimum knowledge and can evaluate companies quite nicely, okay, which means that I also apply all of these rules to obviously space as early space investor. And I found something that is getting more and more clear to me. I predicted it, many people thought I'm wrong, but now it's time that it's uncovering, okay? So first let's talk SpaceX. SpaceX had a Crew Dragon mission where they flew passengers, civilians, up into space, and everybody was saying like, this is the best experience, you know, yada yada yada. So a company called Space Adventures actually contracted SpaceX to make the next mission, and guess what, they were not able until the end of the deadline to find enough people that will pay $50 million for the ride. Okay, then we thought, okay, Blue Origin is there, right? You're going by the rocket, you flying higher. Yes, of course. But recently Tom Hanks by himself said he will not pay $28 million and refuse to pay that kind of amount for his ride like that. And then there's just one last company, which is Virgin Galactic, making it less than $500,000 as a starting price. So you can see here we have almost like a monopoly. If you want to go to space for under $1 million, there's just one company worldwide. Okay, so let's state this as a fact. Now let's listen what Peter Thiel has to say about competition is for losers. Here's his take on competition and monopoly.
Awesome, thanks, Sam. Thanks for inviting me. Thanks for having me. I sort of have I have a single idée fixe that I'm completely obsessed with on the business side, which is that if you're starting a company, if you're the founder, entrepreneur starting a company, you always want to aim for monopoly, and you want to always avoid competition. And so, hence, competition is for losers. Something we'll be talking about today. I'd like to start by saying something about the basic idea of when you start one of these companies, how you go about creating value. And there's this question, what makes a business valuable? And I want to suggest that there's basically a very simple formula that you have a valuable company if two things are true. Number one, that it creates X dollars of value for the world, and number two, that you capture Y% of X. And the critical thing that I think people always miss in this sort of analysis is that X and Y are completely independent variables. And so X can be very big, Y can be very small, X can be of intermediate size, and if Y is reasonably big, you can still get a very big business. So to create a valuable company, you have to basically both create something of value and capture some fraction of the value of what you've created. And sort of just to illustrate this as a contrast, if you sort of compare the US airline industry with a company like Google on search, if you sort of measure by the size of these industries, you could say that airlines are still more important than search. If you just measure it, say, by revenues, it was 195 billion in domestic revenues in 2012. Google had just north of 50 billion, and certainly, sort of on some intuitive level, if you were given a choice and said, well, do you want to get rid of all air travel, or do you want to get rid of your ability to use search engines? The intuition would be that air travel is something that's more important than search. And this is, of course, just the domestic numbers. If you looked at this globally, airlines are much, much bigger than search or than Google is. But the profit margins are quite a bit less. They were marginally profitable in 2012. I think the entire 100-year history of the airline industry, the cumulative profits in the US have been approximately zero. Companies make money, they episodically go bankrupt, they get recapitalized, and you sort of cycle and repeat. And this is reflected in the combined market capitalization of the airline industries, maybe something of the US airline industry, something like a quarter that of Google. So you have a search engine, much smaller than air travel, but much more valuable. And I think this reflects these very different valuations on X and Y.
So as you can see, I feel that the market that Peter Thiel describes here as, huge piece of pie, let's say the space traveling market, right? Or the space tourism market. I said already in the very beginning, SpaceX and Blue Origin is not that hyper focused on that, right? And also their cost, because they're launching rockets instead of basically a spaceship, a customized airplane, their costs are very, very high, much higher than Virgin Galactic. So Virgin Galactic has a very big piece of this ever-growing pie. Obviously, the industry is young, yes, but there is millions of multimillionaires. They want to go to space, and they will choose Virgin Galactic as cheapest option. They have a great experience at the spaceport. They are flying with a nice brand. The Richard Branson flight was very, very PR marketing geniusly created, so everybody was aware. We will know in a few days how the market actually goes for the ticket sales, right? The interest into that, and it's basically the cheapest way, and also maybe also a scalable solution internationally, right? They can just go with the spaceship to other airports and basically launch there with a small team, I guess. But this is something for the future. Let's focus on, okay, we are having a big piece of a huge pie, and because it's so new, it's so hard for competition. If you want to open a space company and fly people to space, you have to spend billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars. And that's why it's basically currently without any competition. Okay, so you have a space monopoly, and I think like once this is clicking, and once all of this, let's say, delay drama and negative drama, and they start operation, and there's just one company, how you value this company? Do you value it by the amount of years a company need to bring in money and time and people to copy this business? And even then, if they, spend the next 10 years to come where Virgin Galactic or Blue Origin is now, Virgin Galactic will be again 10 years further, right? So think about that. This is a very, very important concept, guys, that is very, very, very influencing the value of space. Okay, this is making Virgin Galactic a very, very, very valuable company. And I think at some point of time, I think sometime next year or the year after, we will see some beginning of that, okay? I truly believe that this company can go to $500 per share if the execution will continue, if they keep on innovating, if they will keep on delivering. So it's just a matter of time until we will be there, and we will be there, and the destination is the moon. Oh, and one more thing. When you are thinking about this kind of small niche market, like, you know, search engine was in 2014, like Peter Thiel presented in the video, you will also have huge margins. So margins in new businesses and areas are very high. So that's why Virgin Galactic has a 60-70% profit margin on their flights. And this is incredible, guys. And don't forget that. This is very, very important too. So not only a monopoly, but high margins for a very long time. This is a perfect combination of a very, very great company to come.